But you know, the great thing about that is we can always just not show it if it doesn't work out.
That's true, you know, or just we got nothing. Nerd out.
Right. Welcome to another episode of Nerd Out. See, wow, you're like I'm gonna sit back for that.
Yeah. We got nothing.
We got nothing.
We're just shooting the shit.
We're just shooting the shit. We did an episode and we just ran out of.
Wasn't our best one,
it wasn't our
but
best
it wasn't
one.
the best toy ever. Like
No.
did either. And you know what? It's okay, but it's like it was such an average toy that you can't totally tear into it and you can't love it. So this toy is like a fart that doesn't smell. So it's boring. You
well,
know?
that's the thing. Is like sometimes I think it's more fun to like get
tear up a piece of shit.
Like I don't want to get a toy and hate it. Like I want to like everything I get, but sometimes it's just more fun to go off on something that's actually a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I mean that's just the nature of it. Like and I think people watching it is like if they're watching it and they want to hear our opinion and they want us to like it if they want to like it, but I think it's more entertaining just to listen to us shit on it, right?
Sure,
I don't know.
It's sort of like a fart like that, you know? Like you say you farted, you don't leave until you smell it.
I
Most
guess
of the
so,
time.
yeah.
Like you don't take someone's word for it.
Right.
You smell it, yeah, I'm getting the fuck out. And I think toys are sort of like
Yeah.
that, you know? You want to watch a bad review, and we sort of, you know, I mean, you don't want bad toys, but they're entertaining.
They're there. 2018 though looks to be a good year for toys. I guess. Where the fuck is G.I. Joe, man? I mean,
they're dead.
Yeah,
dead as a doornail.
Am I the only one that gives a shit? You
Bro, I think you and like another guy,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, everyone, you know why G.I. Joe doesn't exist? It's not because they couldn't make money doing it. It's because Hasbro's holding it hostage. And I truly believe that Hasbro's holding G.I. Joe as a brand hostage because the movie thing isn't working out. So it's like they're holding it hostage and trying to...
It'll never be a good movie, though. There's no way to make it a good movie.
I don't agree with that.
I think it's got to be a show. It's got to be episodic. I mean, they can modernize it, but Cobra is a big deal.
That
makes sense. Joe's a big deal. What you could do? 2 hours? I mean, it would have to be a trilogy. It'd have to be well told, and I just don't think they want to do it.
Well, in order to make it good, also too, you can't be afraid to do certain things. Like you can't be afraid to say Cobra Commander is a terrorist. Like you can't be afraid of that.
Yeah, it has to be a little politically incorrect.
Yeah,
it does. You gotta go there with it.
I mean, but being a terrorist, you know, isn't politically incorrect. It's just like a fact of the matter is that there's terrorism out there. But like there was a period of time, I think, with the whole like Afghan stuff, where people were afraid to say terrorists. So it's like G.I. Joe couldn't succeed because of that. But you can't be afraid to just make it what it is. And I'm not saying that it has to be politically incorrect.
Well, I don't think they can do it in a kid's movie.
No, I think you're right.
You know, I mean, yeah, there's terrorism.
That's
all
true.
You're right.
You're right.
I mean, that's like...
The problem is that G.I. Joe really, its elements that made it good was its realism. I mean, you go back and you read some of those early comic books, and like the file cards.
They're intense.
They're intense. Well, Larry Hama was a military guy. Like, he knew what he was talking about.
And I mean, I think part of it is if you beat G.I. Joe, if you made it well now, it would be something that you'd watch with, like, almost your parents, like Tom Clancy type of thing, you know? I mean, and it's sort of like, because, like, it's tough because, like, you look at the characters, like, say, Quick Kick, right? There's a lot of, like they mix cheesiness with serious, like in the same sentence, and that's cool. But I don't think that people will take that today because it confuses them, and they don't want that. They want it neither. They want it serious. They think that if you have mixed a little cheesiness with this, that you're disrespecting people when you're not.
I'm arguing because I think like Thor Ragnarok mixed. Did campy. I just think the problem is that the two G.I. Joe films that we got just weren't good. Like, they weren't well done. They weren't well... They were
terrible.
They were bad movies.
God-awful terrible.
It's like the second one was like, it was okay. It was okay because the first one was so bad. I mean, I think you can mix that. I think you can mix it. I just think that they're not getting the right creative team behind it, and that's fine. Maybe you're right. Maybe stop trying to force G.I. Joe to be a movie. Why can't they... I really love...
Well, you have to be ridiculous. There's parts of it... like Cobra has to be unrealistic.
I agree.
They have to have this ridiculous alien technology, pretty
You think
much.
so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But
that's what
not-
made it cool. They have to have a helicopter. They have to have like the Shield helicarrier, like in the cartoon,
Mhm.
except it has
See,
propeller. Like that shit. I need that for my Cobra. I need Cobra to have that technology in an underwater base. Well, I guess they did have an
but they
underwater base,
did
but
all that for the movie, and I thought that's what
But they did
made
it wrong.
They did it so wrong. They gave him like side-fighting outfits. Like that was too much. Like what I liked about Cobra was I liked the realism, but with the tech. Like
Yeah.
you can give me future tech, but I don't want to see canisters of green ooze.
No, I agree.
You know what
I
I
agree.
mean? Like I don't need to see that.
But
Like
what I need in my G.I. Joe, remember when it's like Cobra Commander and Destro had the Atari like things and they put the headbands on them? Like that shit.
Yeah.
But like the huge Cobra temple on the island.
That's cool.
Like I need that.
That's
I
cool.
need that, and I want Cobra Commander with a hood or what.
Yes.
I want him to look like he did.
I do
Like
too.
one of those two outfits. I want him to sort of have that voice. I want Destro to have a goddamn metal
Yeah.
head. Like I want it like the cartoon, just
Yeah.
modernized. Don't be too original.
And I don't need.
Modernize
I don't
it.
need to hear. I don't need. You can start the GI Joe movie in the middle. Like you don't have to start
Yeah,
at
I
the
don't
very
need an
humble
origin
beginnings.
story, yeah.
I don't need to know Cobra Commander's history before we get the action going.
Yep. Have it in the middle
Absolutely.
and talk about it later. Flashback to it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I agree, but it's unfortunate because before the movie came out, they came out with the Pursuit of Cobra toy line, and I always talk about it because it was not supported by a comic book, a cartoon, a movie, or anything. It was just they were really good action figures, and they were reasonably priced, and they were great, and they seemed to have sold pretty well. Like when you went to the toy store, they weren't just like completely like clogging the shelves. So it was like, and then the movie came out, which was a piece of shit, and then the power of the Pursuit of Cobras just disappeared. I don't know. I think that there's room on the shelf.
Would you make Cobra a huge organization like in the cartoon, like, or would you make it keep it smaller, like?
No, I would keep it like
thousands of dudes,
like a fascist regime. Yes, absolutely.
I'd mix it up. Like, did you ever see the movie Cobra?
The
this Sly movie.
Oh no, but he had a cool gun. That's
he
all
had
I
a cool
remember.
gun, but it like there's some just like seconds of that movie I would copy. Like
really?
Seconds of it I would like rip off because it was like Sylvester Stallone takes on this cult, and I don't know, man.
Yeah, and that's
it.
it.
Like it was
That's where you're stopping. It takes over cult. I want to see
some of the stuff it showed. I don't even know where I'm. Dude, like I said, I don't know where I'm going. We're just
you know
talking.
the scene in Force Awakens where Hux is talking to the like on the ice planet base.
Yeah.
And
it would be that big.
I want to see.
I'd make it that big
I want to
too,
see
yeah.
a scene where Cobra Commander is on that stage, the platform with the blue hood, talking to his Cobra troopers, and I want it to be like that, where it's like primarily Cobra soldiers, then you see like Cobra troopers, and then you see some pilots, and you know what I mean? Like I want it to look real, but not real.
So would they own their own island or something?
Yes, Cobra Island is a
Cobra
total
Island.
flop. Yeah, and you know what? I don't need it to be. I want it to be fantastical, but I want it to be in a world
fake.
of belief.
I would do both. It would like I wouldn't tie it to physics, like
right.
I would, a little bit.
Yeah,
it would look like it could happen,
Yeah.
but I'd show jets doing shit that jets can't do.
Sure.
They land way too quick
Sure.
and take off way too quick.
Yeah.
Like shit like that, and like.
I want to see some tech.
Yeah,
for sure.
but I want the aesthetic of like what I grew up with
Yeah.
like just a little bit better than what we've got now.
Yeah.
You know, or like
I want it to be. I would want it to be dirty. I want it to be like grimy. I'm not like in this world where I think that it should be like an R-rated GI Joe. I don't think that. I
but
just think
definitely
it's
PG-13.
well,
a
I
little
think-
bit PG-13.
What was the last PG movie that you could think of? Like, I mean, other than like a Pixar movie. Like,
I don't know.
PG doesn't
the
exist.
Star Wars movies are PG-13
Right,
now.
right. I mean, The Dark Knight was PG-13, and
Which
the
is
reason why-
insane.
It's insane.
I
That
forgot about that. It wasn't it?
I always think about The Dark Knight when I think about PG-13 movies, because when I came out of that movie, one of the first things I thought was, like, as a child, I would have been terrified by that. Like, it
But
didn't
not
have...
at 13. But I guess
no,
nobody goes by...
Right.
Everybody thinks PG-13. I'm going to drink my 8-year-old.
Right.
If you take it literally, I guess it's fair.
Right.
It's a fair rating, but it's like...
Well, I'm just saying that, like, like the rating system's kind of bullshit because like if you're talking about like an F-bomb, yeah, Dark Knight didn't have a lot of F-bombs, but like or
The
like
themes
blood,
in it were
the
intense.
themes were really intense and too intense to the point where I would feel more comfortable bringing my kid to see like Stand By Me, which was rated R, than I would The Dark Knight.
Well, they should have like they should say like they should put it in red. The rating, if it's like means like no for real PG-13,
right.
they should have like a for real. It's PG-13,
right,
like
right,
really, like
right. Well, I mean, I think now don't they kind of break things down? Like, all right, this is gonna have a pair of boobs.
Oh, they do have those
F-bombs,
sub-ratings, don't
yeah,
they?
like
do it for
sci-fi
TV.
violence.
Yeah, for sci-fi.
Right, sci-fi violence. You know, I mean, I think the rating system is good, but it is
I want to be the guy that writes the descriptions. We got some titties here, some boobs here, little bush. Very sweet.
Little plumber butt. Freaking.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. That would be the best job to write that description.
Yeah.
And get creative with it.
I settled for a new G.I. Joe cartoon.
Me too.
But that even might be the way to do it. And give me some fucking toys, man.
I agree. I just want toys. Like when you go to like the toy store, they have those Chap May. Are you familiar with Chap May?
Nope.
They're like a Chinese like military toys, and like some of the vehicles are actually pretty good. The figures are definitely not good.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Chap May toys.
Where do you get them?
Toys R Us. You know they have the section of the knockoff, like they're like unbranded stuff.
That's Toys R Us brand toy, isn't it?
Chap May, I think it is, but I think Walmart carries them too because.
Some of those
you
are
know what?
sweet,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Walmart has the Corpse. The Corpse, are you familiar with that?
Yeah. What's it called? It's called Chap May?
Chap May is the company. I
But
think
what are the toys
like
the line? I know what you're
military fantasy.
Yeah, they're sweet, actually. They're actually, those
creative.
are sweet. I always look at them.
Yes, me too. They're creative. Like, they have more creative freedom than what Mattel and Hasbro. And again, the restrictions are kind of different. But the thing is about it is Hasbro owns the right to G.I. Joe. So, like, they don't pay any licensing fee for anything. They can decide to release a fun G.I. Joe brand that's based on nothing. You know what I mean? Like, they can
but
just
their
have
ego
fun.
won't let them do it.
Exactly.
God forbid someone make money on their property because they're too lazy or stupid to do anything on it.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's unfair to the consumer because there's no reason that G.I. Joe cannot thrive in today's market. It's just what are your like
Get creative,
and lower the expectations. Like, did you watch that the Toys That Made Me?
You don't know.
You should watch
I'm
that.
saving it. I'm gonna watch it.
Well, watching the He-Man one was my favorite one. It was the most entertaining, but the G.I. Joe one made me the most nostalgic because you really do see that it really was just a toy company using their creativity or marketing abilities to try to put something together. And
that was the most after school for me.
What, G.I. Joe?
It was just
I love it.
Running home from the bus. I remember I lived in Traverse City at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think whatever time it came on was like, it meant I had to run
from
the bus stop to catch it.
Oh, totally.
And I would always get home right after the opening.
The opening credits
was
so good.
Yeah, and I loved it, but I would always
Yeah. Do you remember the G.I. Joe movie cartoon when that premiered?
Yeah,
Dude,
Cobra.
Yeah.
Cobra. Oh God, I remember
that theme was intense, dude. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it like flipped and it was like G.I. Joe was there. Like, man, G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah. It got real dark.
Yeah, and they started.
And then it's it got real dark. Yeah.
The G.I. In my opinion, G.I. Joe Resolute, that 45-minute cartoon, was the best G.I. Joe fiction.
There was real serious shit. Right?
It was really serious.
When the flag blew up,
they killed some people. But it was just really well done, and it was. I guess it took itself pretty seriously, but like, I don't think it was like. Did you watch Renegades? They tried to do something serious with it, but like, I think it took itself too serious. I don't know.
I don't remember which one I watched. I know
Okay.
you made me watch
a couple of them, and
I liked it. Yeah, I really liked it.
I love it. I just, and the final thing I'll say about G.I. Joe is like, all right, now, well, if they make it 6-inch, that's the way to go. I'm not saying that's a bad idea, but here's the problem with G.I. Joe. Half the fun, in my opinion, was the vehicles. If you make 6-inch figures, you have to nix the vehicles. And we've seen that with the Star Wars Black because
I think it hurts the line a little
too.
bit because you could get away with lesser figures if you could play with them.
Yes.
If you had an environment to
Right.
put them in, and
Right.
you don't 6-inch, no way. They just won't do it. And
I agree. I mean, the thing is 6-inch GI Joe classics or legends. That's fun and everything. Like that's a good start.
Yeah.
But when I'm talking about bringing back GI Joe, I'm talking about bringing back GI Joe, like to play with.
In the same format with the rubber bands and everything?
Actually, I liked the 25th anniversary style, like the Pursuit of Cobra style. They removed the rubber bands. They had a good body style, really good sculpting, and they gave them so much cool gear.
Yeah.
And I think they were like about $8 a piece. And for $8, you really felt like you're getting your money's worth, and you got to build your armies. They created like good environments, like there was like the snow, the desert, like the urban, and it was
Now
really
you got
creative.
me thinking about 6-inch GI Joe.
Really?
The problem is,
Yeah,
with all those accessories, it would be cool.
it would be cool, but you
Because
could
they'd be
that's
more
true.
robust. They wouldn't break as much. I mean, even if you wouldn't lose it, they'd be more manageable.
Yeah.
But then
Really?
you're just
The problem is okay,
No
fine.
vehicles.
Then I'll entertain that concept.
You gotta
because
have both.
I do, yeah.
I want both.
But then we start getting into like what the problem is, in my opinion, with like modern day action figures is that they're doing both because they can't seem to put their resources into one. But I'll entertain the concept of 6-inch because it would be awesome. But I will say if they were to do them, and they want to do like a classics legend style, I think that they need to take creative liberties and not make them look like the cartoon. And not necessarily make them look exactly like the toy. Like they need to make a modernized version
Do
of
you want
the
them
characters.
completely original?
No, that's the thing. Like, what do you mean original?
Like, what would Cobra Commander look like?
I think that they make him a hooded one, but I'm saying make him.
What are you talking about? No.
Well, I mean,
no.
both. But I'm just
Okay.
saying like I don't think he needs to. I don't want him to look like he did in the cartoon. Like in the sense that like I want him to have like animated eyes and like I want him to look realistic.
Okay. Would you have him like have the removable on his helmet?
What do you mean? The removable.
The Cobra Commander. He had like the. I don't know. I loved the original Cobra Commander.
The
the
faceplate?
helmet. Yeah, that's my
Well,
favorite
that's the thing
Cobra
is,
Commander.
that gives them the opportunity to do
But they could do
each
both.
of them. Absolutely. Like they could do a lot of retooling with the 6-inch line would be great. I
Yeah.
just want them to have like realistic looking features. Like I don't want them to have soft face lines. I want Duke to have like
You want him to look like a
wrinkle-
dude?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want him to look like a real dude, and I want him to have lots of wrinkles in the uniform, a lot of gear, and unfortunately, I think that they wouldn't be able to do realistic weapons, but I definitely want to see realistic
I would
weapons.
want realistic.
Me too.
Or just somewhat realistic looking one.
Right,
I mean, it doesn't
right.
have to be a real gun.
Right.
But like make it like.
I want it to have details. I don't want it to look like it's blocked out.
Yeah, I
like
want a
the
Boy
cartoon.
Scout Duke though. I want him
Right.
like to
Me
be in the
too.
Boy Scout outfit.
Me too.
Like,
Me too. A lot of wrinkles, man. For some reason, like a lot of. Actually, if they did it like Marvel Legends, like the way that they approach those and make them like they look realistic. Like they don't make them look like a cartoon.
The problem is like with GI Joe, if
Mhm.
you did them like Marvel Legends, could you keep it at the same price point with all the
$20.
yeah with all the stuff you would want
Yes,
to come with?
because they can eliminate the Build-A-Figure, and that could the
Okay,
weapons
yeah,
and
yeah,
accessories would replace the Build-A-Figure. They don't have to pay any licensing or royalty fees, so you could justify that as being a cost-saving method. I think that they could do it. I mean, actually, now
build a figure for GI Joe. Could think about what they could come up with.
like who? Like what would they do?
Like the weird. Remember, like
They could do.
when they were mining the ore, when Snake Eyes got caught with
Mhm.
the and the robots, and they had two versions, the
Yeah.
white one and the blue one, and you could put the dude. That could be a sweet. little
Yeah,
figure.
yeah, that's true.
They could
But
do-
I'd rather them accessorize the
Yeah, me
figures and
too.
eliminate. But now I'm thinking 6-inch figure, man. Now I want 6-inch Legends style GI Joe.
Go either way, man.
I
I
could
could go
go
either
either
way.
way,
I
too.
mean, they should just do it, though. You know.
Yeah, there's no reason for the toy shelves to not GI Joe has been completely vacant from toy store shelves. The last good I don't know. But you know what was a good do you remember the Sigma 6 GI Joe line?
Yeah.
They were
Yes, I do.
they were really good. They just weren't what I wanted to see of GI Joe at the time. But now when I look back at Sigma 6, I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate them doing that. Like that was a creative move. It just didn't click.
It's just. I just don't think they can push it without some type of media behind it.
But
like
why?
a cartoon.
I don't understand why. Like, what about like if they came with like mini comics or like I said, the Pursuit of Cobra figure. like they don't have to pay licensing or royalty fees. It's not like they need to make it their absolute bestseller. Like they can make it subtle, right?
I guess, but I mean, I just don't know if parents want their kids playing with army toys.
That might be true.
You know what I mean? I think part of it is like it's serious, you know? And I mean, with all the shit that's going on in the world right now.
But the thing is G.I. Joe is only half military anyway, though,
I
right?
agree.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. So you gotta have like some type of like
well, that's what you have the ninjas.
Cartoon or media to flesh out bad
silly
guys.
It up a little bit.
To silly it up a little bit, because it's like right now, kids would be like, "Ooh, we're going to invade Bosnia." Or,
well, I mean that's
we're looking for a bad guy that's not there. I mean, there's all kinds of shit.
But that's the beauty of Cobra Island. Cobra Island doesn't have a race or religion or it has like I don't even know if it's got political.
But you need to have that predefined in a toy line. Is what I'm saying. Or like,
but wasn't. When I picked
which
up,
we had as kids.
When actually, this is the opposite of that. Is when I first picked up G.I. Joe as a kid. My first one was Blowtorch and Flash. I didn't know the stories. The only thing I knew was the bios on the back of the cards, the file cards, which were amazing.
Yeah, they were great. That was enough in itself.
You don't think that'd be enough to do it? Do you think?
I mean, for me, yeah, I think it would be sweet. I just don't know if it would if it would swing. I just like.
You're right.
Oh, G.I. Joe is occupying Washington
right.
and employing martial law today.
Right.
I mean, it'd just be like, we need bad guys. Like, you got to have Cobra first.
Well, you mix the two. You got 4 Cobra, 4 Joes. You got first series Cobra Commander, which is pretty fantastical.
Yeah.
Destro,
Major Blood,
Storm Shadow, and a Cobra Trooper. The good guys are Duke, Snake Eyes.
And don't do too much about Snake Eyes. Don't give it the whole 9 yards.
Definitely.
Make them tell a little bit, not everything.
Don't blow your load on
at the beginning. Busted the load on him in the
completely.
movies, and it wrecked him.
Wait, so we got the first 4 Cobras. The first Joes would be Duke, Roadblock, Snake Eyes, and Scarlet. That's pretty.
Yeah, you got to throw a woman in for sure.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Now I want more though. I think you got to have 8 good guys, 4 bad guys.
8 good guys, 8 bad guys. All right, here we go.
Oh, even?
Yeah,
okay.
Let's do it. All right, so we got. We have Storm Shadow, Cobra Commander, Destro, Cobra Soldier, Baroness,
Zartan, maybe?
Zartan.
He might be series 2 though.
Yeah, no, I like Zartan.
I like Zartan too.
No, that's a good one. 2 more. Another sort of trooper. What was like a Televiper is pretty. That wasn't my favorite.
Like
trooper,
two generic bad guys, like two troop builder, army builder bad guys.
You got the Cobra Soldier. And then a Viper.
Viper.
Okay, so you got
I like the
Joes,
bats too, man.
The bats were cool, but I'm not quite ready for bats in the first.
That'd be series 2.
All right, so the Joes would be Duke, and I like Duke, by the way. Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes. Who did we say? Duke, Scarlet, Snake Eyes. I forgot.
No Falcon. He can't come in.
I love Falcon.
Yeah, but he can't come into series 2.
Neither can Flint or Hawk.
Okay, no Flint, no Hawk.
Snow Job would be good because it would give that snow.
Bazooka. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll, but I don't know if I want Bazooka in the first one.
All right.
No, that's fine. A Grunt. That'd be kind of boring.
I want Shipwreck, but he's not till series 2.
Dude, I love Shipwreck.
Me too, man. He's just Shipwreck.
Do you want Shipwreck in a sailor suit or probably the knit cap? I think a knit cap would be.
I don't know what's wrong with the sailor.
I
like him like the sailor.
I like him too, man.
Either one, man.
He was Jack Nicholson in the cartoon.
Yeah, totally.
Shipwreck was awesome. I had 2 Shipwrecks. I got him as I had him and I got him as a birthday gift. And when I was a kid, I was just like, fuck it, I'll open up the Shipwreck. Like there was no reason to have 2 Shipwreck.
Why not? They're sweet.
Now I want these. Now I absolutely want them. G.I. Joe's best. Out of the leaders, and then we'll wrap this up. Who for the good guy leaders? Who would you take? Duke, Flint, Hawk, or Falcon?
Duke.
To
start.
Yeah. No, but who was your favorite leader? Like when you was a kid?
Duke.
I was a Duke guy too.
I mean, it's just because it's what I remember.
Yeah.
You know, Flint was cool too.
Right.
But Flint and Duke existed at the same time, right?
Yeah, but Duke was first.
Yeah, Duke was first, and Flint came in.
Lieutenant Falcon was my favorite looking leader.
Yeah.
But they totally destroyed him in the cartoon. Like it made no sense to me.
Because he came in the movie, and then the cartoon went to shit.
Well, okay.
They had the Cobra la la la.
Well, not only that, but like he was a lieutenant. Okay. Now, I don't know. I'm not a military expert, but I think a lieutenant is higher in position than a first sergeant, right?
I believe so.
Well, he was a Green Beret, and in the cartoon, he was a dunce. Like they made him like, I'm
But he was like Hot Rod though. He was like Hot Rod in the movie.
Right, but there's no way you could get to the level of being a Green Beret if that was your personality.
Yeah.
It always made me upset because I loved the Falcon figure so much, and then when they made him a dunce, it was like, oh, you're killing me. Like I can't tell people that he's my favorite now because you made him Don Johnson.
That sucks.
Johnson. Don Johnson was really cool in that movie, A Boy and His Dog. You ever see that?
Of course I saw that. That's a classic.
That is a
movie.
classic.
He was also good in that show. What was it? Like the Miami
Chicago
Vice.
Hope?
No, dude.
Miami Vice.
I was joking.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really watched Miami Vice.
It's pretty good,
is
man. Like
it was written by Michael Mann.
Yeah,
That's
I mean it's
so crazy.
dated now,
Yeah.
but like, it's pretty. I'm into it, man.
Dude, Miami Vice changed the landscape of the 80s. Like,
yes, it did.
One day, people were just chilling, and next thing you know, they're wearing white blazers.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I always wanted one, too. I wanted to be like Don Johnson.
Me
He's
too.
Such a badass, man.
He was, and I didn't even watch the show. All I remember is that he had a pet crocodile, and Tubbs was pretty cool.
And I do want to see, what's the new show that you were talking about? I want to see because he got a sweet CUDA in it.
Chicago Hope?
No, there's another one. What's up?
I don't know.
It's not Chicago Hope. It plays like...
Is it a doctor show?
I'm totally talking about another.
Yeah, all right. So not Don Johnson.
There's a CUDA in it. Either way.
Anyways.
Don Johnson, the man. He's
Johnson,
awesome.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson, the Marlboro.
I never
Man.
saw that movie either. I wasn't allowed to because it
You
was.
have to see that.
It came
action
out.
figure, like
Really?
2 action figures. They would be so awesome for like Funko to do.
Really? Is it a good movie though?
I like it a lot.
Really?
I mean, it's not the best. It came out in '87.
Yeah,
It's a buddy movie from '87, but I love it.
Yeah, that's a movie that he could never come out with today. Just to call it that. But I mean, I don't know if they should have come out with that name then. But
it was a popular movie.
It was.
I mean, and it's a weird movie. I mean, I think it's got sci-fi in it.
I've never seen. Thinking of like teams, I've never seen Tango and Cash either.
I don't even remember it. I've
Wasn't
seen
that
it.
Sylvester Stallone
And Kurt Russell.
Really?
Right?
I mean, it sounds like a home run, right?
How can it not be 80s buddy movies? Like,
yeah.
They're gonna come back.
80s buddy movies, and what else was really popular was a cop and his dog movies, like Turner and Hooch.
and Hooch.
Kate, was it
K9?
K9
with Jim
Belushi. I don't know why I saw that in the theater. Like how weird, how random.
Do you ever see The Principal? With Jim Belushi?
No, I haven't.
What?
No.
Oh yeah, that's a good movie.
I'm not a big Jim Belushi fan.
But, nobody's a big Jim Belushi fan. He's not a good actor.
No, but he's good in Twin Peaks, right?
He's good in Twin Peaks.
That was so weird.
That's like how he rolls, man. He's just like...
Unfortunately, he did ride the coattails of his brother.
But you?
Yeah.
My brother was John Belushi. I'd ride that shit too.
Here's something I'm going to confess to you. As a child of the 80s, I'm not that into John Belushi's comedy. Am I missing something?
You're too young for it.
You think so?
Wait, he was dead. Died in '80.
Right, but I mean, I go back and I watch it and I don't connect with it.
I think it's before our day, man. I mean,
I understand, but
I don't laugh at it.
Eddie
but
Murphy was the same time, and I'll watch Coming to America, and it's awesome. But like John Belushi, like Animal House is okay, but like I didn't connect with it.
See, I like watch him as someone like I watch it and I'm like I don't laugh aloud about it. I don't.
What's the John Belushi representation that I should watch?
I think the Blues Brothers.
I didn't like that movie.
Like the Blues Brothers sort of just cracks me up, and not necessarily his acting, but just like that they're such dirt asses. Like the part where they're with the nun and they keep swearing on accident, and she keeps beating them, and it's like he can't just put it. He's just such a dirt ass, and I love that. I guess that John Belushi, not him personally, but like Jake and Elwood sort of remind me of myself a little bit.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, Blues Brothers was one of those movies. I remember watching Blues Brothers with you at on like a big laser disc at George's.
With George,
and I just didn't connect with the movie. But I mean, I also don't like Dan Aykroyd that much. Like I don't think he's that funny.
It's just some of the '80s humor was weird because it was dark humor.
I like dark humor.
I do too, but it was dark in a
I like Bill Murray, and I like Steve Martin. He's not really dark. I like Martin Short. I like Three Amigos was awesome. Like that was, but for some reason John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd I didn't connect with.
They have a dark side to them,
Yeah.
man. I think it comes out. But you're into that too. I
Yeah,
don't know,
yeah.
man.
Maybe-
Hey, it's not for everybody.
Hey,
you know?
if there's something that you can recommend outside of Blues Brothers or
Neighbors.
or
You see Neighbors?
no, what's that?
It's good. It's a weird one.
Okay.
It's
I'll put it on my
Yeah.
list.
Neighbors is good.
Yeah. So you got anything else? That was that was just a hodgepodge of watching us for maybe 30 minutes or so. Bring G.I. Joe back. Don't put so much pressure on it. G.I. Joe can come back at a small level.
Don't make it good. Make it fun.
Yeah.
Just make it fun. Do things that are fun for no other reason than that it's fun and entertaining.
Put it on the shelf without any support and see what happens. Just make a good product and see what happens. That's all. Just try it. Please subscribe and tell your friends. And until next time,
Brian
nerd
for
out.
president. This toy is like a fart that doesn't smell.